We are just outside of Riggins, Idaho. Went for a little hike this morning. That's where my rig spent the night last night. What a beautiful day in the hood. Nice and balmy. Time to get back to work. You just close your eyes. It'll take you right here. Time to get back to work. So, in my infinite wisdom, I think I did say we're just outside of Riggins, Idaho. Maybe a mile north. And this is the Salmon River. The mighty salmon. And then just south of Riggins is the Little Salmon River. I fished that one last night up on top of the hill. Ended up getting my Rapala stuck in a tree on the same bank side that I was on. Absolute rookie move. Anyway, that cost me $7. Damn it, Jim. Okay, back to work. When I say damn it, Jim, I mean like in Spock. My name is actually Mike. A lot of you know that. But some don't. So just to clarify it. Peace. Having a nice drive in England. Little cave right there. If you go in there, it could cave in. If you had an underground hotel, you could call it the Cave In. Idaho State Trooper. your gears. Let's roll. So I stopped at Wally World and bought me a window cleaner. It's a squeegee / scrubby little handheld. I just pop the hood, stand on the valve cover, the engine, and scrub off all them suicidal insects. So that's how I'm going to do it from now on when I park in an area I cannot clean my windshield. I'll always be able to do it. I got some big old jugs of water to go along with it. Nice little house right there. I'm serious. I have never seen that. Maybe somebody can explain to me why they would shave the highway, throw chip seal on top, and then repave it. Usually they just shave it and repave it like what they've done here. I don't know. I've never seen that before. Maybe I've been in the Twilight Zone or something, but so I was talking to Verizon the other day. My kids get an upgrade and they're like, oh, I have to get the new phone. But anyway, my phone, I always chewed them out for cracked screens. I was so good at it that they actually don't get their screens cracked anymore. And so I go and crack mine. I had an inverter sitting on the console in the center between the seats. Had my phone up on the dash, it fell down, hit the inverter, boom, cracked the corner of the screen. Which then put lines through my whole screen. It didn't shatter the screen, but it is cracked. So I talked to Verizon, and he's all like, well, you have insurance, so you can call this number, and they can put a new screen on it for you. They'll even come to you. And I'm like, well, dude, I travel the country. I'm a truck driver, so I'm never in one place too long. Well, maybe you can call and get them set up. Come to you. So today might be that day. Once I get to reception, I will be calling, because we have about a 3 to 4 hour 2 to 4 hour unload in Spokane, Washington. So I will call them. I'm going to get there an hour early. Usually when we do these runs, we go up to Colville and pick up wood pellets or sawdust. I mean, packaged sawdust. Like usually the bulk is what I haul out of Olathe, Colorado, and other places. These will be packaged, kind of like if you bought a hamster. You buy a big old brick of sawdust for his cage. That's what we haul out of there, but I don't know if that's what I'll be hauling or not. Find out later. It's 11:25 Mountain Time. Actually, 11:15. I put my instrument panel 10 minutes ahead. Usually time it to where once we get unloaded, I can still drive up to 2.5 hours to Colville. Something by the Canadian border. Spend the night, get loaded in the morning. Usually head back through Montana. So if that works, we'll be able to get some Montana shots. I'd like to fish. I got Montana mapped out pretty well, at least Interstate 90, where I can fish and where I can't fish. So I'll see if I can get somebody to come out at like 3 o'clock They start unloading me at 4. It'll take them 2 to 4 hours. That'll give the guy 3 hours to work on my phone. At least. But he shouldn't need that much time at all. But I go, what's the deal if I just get another phone? Well, about $300. I'm like, man, F that. How much does it do a screen? $35? I'll believe that when I see it. Temperature 77 degrees in this beautiful day in the neighborhood. Absolutely gorgeous. We'll be coming up on an Indian reservation, and I forget which tribe. Get there. Got a big truck coming, brother. Turn around. He still hasn't turned around. What the hell is that? Freaking Coca-Cola driver, man, he like slams on his brakes. Like, dude, you didn't see that guy standing there? Whether he's turned around or not, there's nowhere for you to go. He's in your lane. That guy turned around real quick. Oh, there's a big red truck right in his face. Pretty shitty, that truck driver. It's one thing, there's a lot of bad truck drivers out here, let me tell you. And there's a lot that don't speak the English. Especially out there in California. No speak the English. One time I was, well, there's a rooster right there on the side of the road. Of course, it must belong to that house. I was in a cement truck, or a mixer truck, and I told this gal, I go, you need to move this car. She goes, no speak English. So I told her in Spanish. And she goes, no speaking English. I told her in Spanish again. I'm not talking English, I'm talking Spanish. It's just like a response for them. They're not actually listening. Because as soon as if you're white and you say something to them, no speaking English. So I told her in Spanish, you need to move this car. El carro. I got a kick out of that. The second time I told her, she kind of smiled. I'm raising my hands up. I'm like, no español, no inglés? ¿Qué? It just clicked into my head. I remembered that. That was funny as hell. No speaking English. Okay, I'll tell you in Spanish. No, I said no speaking English. That was hilarious. That would have been great if I could have got that on film. Boat launch right there. Maynard Hole. Right there, we just passed this Maynard Hole. Of course, you'd have to, if you You'd have to learn from the locals how they fish these waters. Steelhead in. Woo! And there's some big fish in there. I thought that the salmon run was in June, but I guess it's in September for Reagan's, Idaho. Long gulch to the right, some rafters over there. They had fishing sign for this long gulch, but it doesn't look like any kind of fishing I'd want to do. Maybe right there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pay attention. They hit and they brakes. Looks like they're rafting camping, or what do you call it? Kind of like in the movie Deliverance. There's 3 rafts, and one raft was full of gear. The very last raft. Actually, I never did see that old Ford. It was an old boy. I've dealt with them up in the mountains where I'm from and other places. They do 1 speed, and they don't care how many cars they got behind them. Before I left where I spent last night, he drove by, so I already knew I was going to be behind him, but he must have turned off the highways before we got to the line. I don't see him in this lineup. I was looking intently while we were stopped. There's a big long hill, pretty steep. I'm going to say 8% long, coming up on it. I've always wanted to tackle that in winter. I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. One of our other drivers, Wayneski, he had to take it one time, and he was southbound. He had to go down that hill. What the hell are you doing, buddy? Fuck. You see that car? It's the only scary thing about 2 lanes. There's nothing you can do sometimes. If he would have kept going, there's nothing I could have done. If I would have swerved to the left to avoid him, he would have swerved right, plowed right into me. It's one of the dangers of running these 2-lane highways. Anyway, he called me up and was asking me some advice for taking that hill. Because he goes, it's freaking snowing like it beat all hell out here. And I'm like, well, just right before you go down, make sure you're locked in the right gear. I go, you heavy? He's like 30,000. I go, well, it's better to be heavy than empty. He's like, it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't. But it does. You need that weight. State Creek. Oh, the Nez Perce. Sorry, Nez Perce. I read that wrong. I knew that too. I knew that beforehand. I just couldn't remember. Anyway, I go, just find your gear. Go down about, I think the speed limit was 35 or something like that. I go, just do the speed limit. Probably going to be in 8th or 9th gear. If you're worried about it, go slower. Just let the Jake hold you down. You got enough weight. You won't spin out. Let it take that gear the whole way down that hill because it's pretty steady. You'll be fine. He called me hours later because once he got reception. No, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I go, yeah. It's scary. I've seen that people coming out of Eisenhower Tunnel. I saw a girl one time. I just happened to be stopped there. Well, she was already stopped. I pulled off to do something real quick, and it was full on white, just blowing snow. And you could see the look in her face, and she was terrified to go down that mountain. That's about 10 miles long, Eisenhower Hill. I thought about telling her not to worry about it. But then I was like, well, she'll figure it out. That's one of the points in my life where I actually should have gone and had a talk with her real quick. Explain it to her. Whether she would have took my advice or not was besides the point. I would have felt better by giving it to her. And she was scared shitless. Apparently she got down the hill all right. Look out of here. Something there tied to the bridge. We're coming up on that long hill. Back over the salmon again. They're like Swift, CR England. They F you through the drive-thru. They pay you 30 cents a mile. Not half of what I make. It's the same job. There's not a whole lot of drivers that run as hard as I do. The way I look at it is I'm out here every day, I'm going to run hard every day. Why am I going to run out here and just relax? Just take my time, stop at a restaurant and eat. Getting the extra time, I'm going to swing by a river if I can and do some fishing. I do eat in restaurants too, it just depends. Like today, I got plenty of time to make my deliveries on. If I wanted to, I could. Council and Grangeview, which I don't have. But I did slide my axles all the way forward. The port of entry be open, I could buy one, but they were closed. Hills Canyon National Rec Area. That's that hill I was talking about. You can see it carved in the mountain up there. That's where we're going. She's a longin'. Goes all the way to the top up there. So you can imagine you're 70,000 pounds coming down that mountain, and it's all snow all over the highway. There's Mulberry. I don't know the name of that little town, but it looks pretty cool. Got a river runs through it. Shift your gears. As you can see, she's pretty steep. There was a battle, big old battle over here on that hill there to the right, about right there. It'd be right at noon. That hill over there. Nice in the valley. Big old Indian battle. So I can remember that. I can't remember the name, but I know they'll tell us up here. 8th gear, 1600 RPMs, 34 mph. Pretty much everybody, we're the last ones. There's nobody behind us. So you can see that hill, it goes up quite a bit. Long ass highway. Steep as it is, you can imagine somebody who doesn't know snow coming down this mountain, they would freak out. But it's actually fairly easy. Just pick your gear and stay in it. Pick a low enough gear. Peace, brother. Down to 32, 1500 RPM, still 8th gear. Seems to be about perfect. stupid cruise control. On the Freightliner, it would just take right off. On this one here, you set it, and then it hesitates. Then it kicks on. Well, as you can see what happened, it downshifted because it hesitated so much. POS. That's the hill right there. They had the battle. Hanging that valley right in there. We were doing good until I put the cruise control on. So you can see why my buddy wasn't afraid, but he was a little worried about coming down this hill while it's completely white, full of snow. I told him, I go, I wish I was there with you. We'd just get right on and get her done, but this is why he called me. He knew this hill. He knows I have a lot of experience, so he just wanted to get a few refresher tips. Right there's the battle area. It'll tell us right here. Purse Memorial Historical Park Site. No baños, no restrooms. It's a pretty wild road over there. Must be the old highway or something. The White Bird Battlefield Site. Isn't there a song, White Bird, in the 60s? You know what the White Bird grade looks like? I didn't bother to look up this hill. He was bringing down them logs. He's nice and heavy. It's the same thing driving on the snow as it is driving on dry asphalt. The only difference is if he had to slam on his brakes, he's not going to start sliding. But there's no reason to use your brakes. You find your gear, you let the jake hold you, and just take her on down. It's a pretty steady grade, so you should do the same speed the whole way. There you go, Hardman. Get right on his ass. He ended up passing him. He ended up passing him. I would have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have been right on his butt. asphalt. He's taking it to those boys over there spreading it on the highway. See, that's one thing they don't teach people from the flatlands. They don't have hills like this over there. So, they don't even have a runaway truck ramp on this. I don't think they do. I haven't seen any signs. Of course, we're not going down. I'm not looking backwards. Oh, I guess there is one. I just read that sign right there. Runaway truck ramp 1 mile. This is not the hill to learn on. Unless you have an experienced driver walking you through it. This is a killer hill. Meaning it will kill you if you don't know what you're doing. If it was that old boy was going down this hill without lumber, he would not have walked away alive. More likely it just would have been him. Talking about that Denver accident. I'll feel better once we get to Grangeville. As far as the permit thing goes, behind old Mike the Choke Chicken there. Quite the view. Last time I was here, fires were raging all over the place. Back up to our 8th gear and 32 miles an hour, 33 with 1500, a little over that. So if we were going to go down this hill the other way, same thing. If we got up to the top, turn around and came right back down. We're in 8th gear. They say you're supposed to go down in 7. You go down 1 gear lower the gear you went up on. That's old school terminology. We're talking about them trucks that they're just really old, and it was the rule they learned on. So if you're climbing up in 5th gear, you're going to go down in 4th. If you're in 7th gear, you go down to 6th, and so on. Now, them trucks didn't have any jake brakes. You would be going a lot slower. You're down 5 miles an hour, probably 2nd, 3rd gear. And it would actually hold you. If you're doing 30 miles an hour and you're trying to get down to that 2nd gear, you're not going to do it. You're going to end up overheating your brakes and losing your brakes, period. You're going to overheat them. That's why you start at the top in the right gear. Like this guy here, he's putting down the hill. Very impatient. Now these newer trucks, like this one here, it doesn't matter, especially the automatics. I could be in 10th gear, and I could go down to 4th gear fairly quick and easy. I'm definitely going to heat my brakes up, but not to the point of losing them. Look at that guy's house right down there. Has he got the view or what? Oh man. I'll get a better view right now. There, look at that. Boom! That's sick. mark the mileage. I'm going to say every bit of maybe about 10 miles, I think. White Bird Hill. This is what it is. 42-45 elevation. And I wonder if that song from the 60s, White Bird, that had to do with the battlefield site. I don't know, I'm going to have to look into that. We're still climbing. I'm going to break through right up here. Trucks use lower gears. The pros from Dover are here. Okay, see you in Grangeville. Doing 65 and a 65. About 65,000 pounds. Kicked up a little bit. Bring it back down. Pick a lower gear. See how easy that is with the automatics? Anyway, that's Grangeville out there in the plains. Pretty much holding right here. 10th gear. 1900 RPMs. 67 now, full jake. Stay in 67. This is showing you the difference that the new trucks can do versus the old trucks. I've been in old trucks before. I've taken them down the mountains. We're still in 67. And I know there's no way I could have done what I just did in those trucks. Piece of cake for this truck though. About ready to cut it loose. Cut it loose. Oops, didn't need to do that. Meant to do that. Yeah. 68 right now. Mexican overdrive. 600 RPMs. That's the way I like it. See you in a bit. Didn't realize I was that close to the Pacific time zone. Wow. Scales closed like that. CMB crunch. Really makes a big deal out of that. They do it every year. Going down the wrong pipe. Java. Little campsite right there to the left. Quite the spot there, buddy. I was hoping to time this just right. So I could be at the front or keep rolling, but we're going to have at least one vehicle in here that's just going to pull anchor. In other words, drag anchor. In other words, effing slow. I think it's that old Ford pickup, about 4 lengths ahead of us. Set it and forget it. I'll let you guys wait this long for that. Chip seal. I never knew they shaved the concrete or the asphalt before they put the chip seal. I think this is the first time I've seen that. Usually they just chip seal. They don't shave also. Because they shaved off about, what, an inch? They're putting on a quarter? Weird. But that for sure is getting a new coat of asphalt. New coat of oil. Nope. Oh, by the way, I didn't bother fishing the salmon. I fished it before, nothing. Not like a year or two ago. There's some big salmon in there. But they're used to a different way of being caught. I suppose if I worked it hard enough, I could pull a rainbow out of there or a brown. So you have 2 seasons in truck driving, winter and construction. I prefer winter, as you can see why. Especially being at the end, almost at the end. So they've already chip sealed the lane we're on, and you can still see the grooves where they shaved the asphalt. Definitely not going to put asphalt on top of this because it wouldn't make sense for them to put chip seal if they were going to do that. I don't know. I'm no road expert. The only way I know these things. Oh, wait, what do we got here? Maybe they are going to chip seal on top of it. Yep, sure as heck. Why would they chip seal? Huh. Learn something new every day. I've never seen that before. Never seen that before. Once they put chip seal down, that's basically they seal it and then they throw those chips on top. It's done. Never seen them put asphalt on top of that until today. See, I try to stay back to keep the flow going, but I just can't do that all the time. I'm sure somebody said, Martha, turn in here. At that Fiddle Creek fruit stand. But she wants him to pull in there, and he's like, I can't. So he stopped the traffic. I came along and slapped him upside the head. Keep it moving, sir. I'm rambling, as you can tell. This is a pilot car. So I don't know why they would roll and stop. I won't put you guys through this anymore.
Sophistication. And no, I am not the most sophisticated American. So
we are west of Grangeville. Got a phone call, so I wasn't able to film Grangeville. It's a little town, not a whole lot to miss. Farming going on up here. Plains up here, prairies, go down to Lewiston, Idaho. Lot of farming going on. The ski area there to the left. 54 miles to Lewiston. Temperature 76 degrees. We're still 95 north. We have just entered the Nez Perce Indian Reservation. Okay, dokie. Call that a day or a video for now. Of course, we'll be doing some more. Thanks again for riding shotgun. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or morning. Depends when it is you watch it. For us, it is just after noon, at 12:16 Mountain Time. Gonna get all the way over there, buddy. Thank you, sir. So until the next video, enjoy. Peace!